So what do we do? So we are device management, monitoring, and control. So effectively everything about the AV estate. So being able to come in and show, is everything online, to be able to report on are devices connected, are they working the way they should be, to be able to monitor and alert on those, to be able to say, okay, so if something breaks, something disconnects, actually tell me that, and put a big, send me an email, send me an alert, actually let me know that something's broken, so we can send not only the guy to the room to say something's not working, but the cable's unplugged, or the specific piece about that, to actually make sure that we know when he goes he can fix it quickly, or we can just let someone in the room know, please plug the cable back in and you'll be up and running again. So key Utelogy benefits, we're trying to reduce downtime, improve the user experience, so not just the, mainly the people in the room, I guess. So actually to make sure that when they go in the room, it's not, the tech guy might hit his SLA because he can run down and, they phone up, something's not working, he goes to the room, something's not working, he fixes it in his SLA period, but that user has still had a bad experience because they've, gone to the room, tried to start a meeting, it's not worked. Again, I assume with lectures, you've got multiple students in the university where, time is money, so we can't have downtime, so it's really key for that. And this is the challenges we're trying to solve. So there's lots of things on this wheel, but some of these might be the sort of challenges that you're looking to solve within your organization. So you've got things like poor user experience, like we just spoke about, so the room actually working or not. Reduction in support staff. So instead of having to have, we've got customers who have had people going around to check a room every morning to make sure it's working. They do that now digitally. We then, ensure it's actually done properly. They're not just ticking a box and leaving the room, so they can go take a longer coffee break or what have you. Large AV estates, being able to manage a large piece of this. No process to monitor rooms. We see some customers who have no way of monitoring the rooms. All they do is go check them, or they wait for the phone call to let them know it's not working, which is not good. Asset inventory management, again, because we have details on every device in the estate, we can actually go through and say, here's the information, here's when it was installed, here's this asset tag, all of those bits. Service level agreement, changing demographic. Again, especially with COVID, people are expecting more from the AV systems. So actually being able to come through and, you're at home, it works straight away, whereas, you go into a meeting when it doesn't work, why would you come into the office? So actually making sure that people now understand that's how people want to work. No knowledge of utilization. So actually being able to get some more statistics rather than just it's working, actually be able to tell you how often was it used, how often was the system, someone used the click share in the room versus the MTR, or do they not use the screens, they just sit in the meeting room because we can tell with the occupancy sensor, any of those kind of things. Again, some idea of these are some of our partners that we work with. It's actually other integration companies. So these are all signed up as partners through us and actually deliver Utelogy as a service. And again, working with the manufacturers. So we're in quite a fortunate position now where the manufacturers have actually provided all the equipment for our booth because they want to work with us. So we're actually working with them on the other side of this, Utelogy Alliance. So it's actually them working with us to make sure their APIs deliver the information that we want to see. If we detect an issue with their product, they'll work with us to resolve that. What a customer asks for occupancy from the camera via the API, we want to be able to deliver that and actually show that off to the end user. Again, example of what we were just speaking about. Someone walks in a meeting room, first presenter can't use it because the projector won't turn on. 10 minutes for the tech to get there, which is probably quick, especially if you've got a large state, actually for them to run over. Projector's been fixed, board meet, 30 minutes later, they can actually start their meeting, which again, just that user experience, just a real degradation. Whereas what we want to see is, we can do things like automated checks, so actually do like room readiness before anyone's there, automatically at night. So 2:30, we run a Automate script. We detect an issue with the projector. We send an email to the technician, who as soon as he arrives on site goes and fixes it, and the meeting room can begin as expected at 11 o'clock in the morning. So just a sort of that proactive rather than reactive is what we're trying to be. So into the technical piece now, my favorite. So how does it work? So one of the key parts is we have a local U server on network, as it were. So that can be either on-premise or on the cloud, but effectively we have a server that's effectively a translation box that talks to all of the individual devices' APIs, and from there we pull all that data in and then aggregate that together on a single connection up to the cloud. So that's how we communicate with those devices. And then effectively we can communicate with anything that's got an API. So that's screens, projectors, U computer, so sort of MTR rooms. Again, anything we can talk to, we will write an API for. And what we can also do, which kind of sets us apart in the market, is as well as being able to do the monitoring, because we've got the API that's talking to it, we actually can do control. So I can show you a control example in a minute, but effectively you can go in and actually put a control panel in the room to affect change, and the user can use that to actually control the system. So once that's all aggregated here, that gets sent up to the cloud. So that's cloud hosted on Azure.
Could that be also on-premise? It's just that solution is only in the cloud now?
It can be on-premise if you need it to be. Yeah, we prefer cloud, but if you need it on-premise, then we can.
You're in the AVS, you're in Scotland or Ireland, or in the AVS in the cloud solution. Where it is?
Where is it?
Yeah.
We can spin one up anywhere because we're Azure. Currently, it's in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But again, we're looking at UK. We've got them in America. We've got some in South Africa, Asia Pacific.
It's just important that it's within EU, so there's no data leakage.
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of information can you get from the REST API?
From our system, again, I can show you that, but effectively you can do things like get what alerts are currently active in the system. You can see what assets you've got. You can expose all of that through the API.
You also get if you monitor how often a laptop or connection in a room has been used, can you also pull that information from the API?
Yes, you're more likely to pull that through like a Power BI type data. So we also have a data connector. So you can actually go through and pull your information into Power BI, and that's got all of your more statistics. Again, I can show you the API documentation, but it runs through what you can get, and again, I can share that link with you as well. So that's all in the cloud. So again, data connectors, reports, management. But also in the cloud, we've got Automate, which is that automated scripting. So you build your script to run on the room at 2:30 in the morning. It then runs, and effectively you go in and check what's not working and sort it out. Okay.
Is there anything new this show? Is there everything new that has happened the last year that you're launching now at ISE?
Yes, actually two things. So we've got MTR. So we're rolling out a new version of our MTR solution. So actually looking at, these are the current feature enhancements. So the key part about this is with the new launch of MTR Pro, what we're actually trying to show is that we're not competing with Microsoft at all. We are value add on top, so 1 + 1 = 3 is the key part of this. So again, some of the things we can do are, you aware MTR reboots at 2 a.m. every night to do its update? We can effectively, currently there's no way of turning that off. So one of our key things is going to be that we can go through and reschedule that update and effectively turn off that MTR, different times of the day, and actually do some power saving with it, which is one of the other key parts that we're showing at the show. So actually, we've now implemented a power saving tile, so we can tell you how much power you've saved by actually turning devices off with things like our Automate, so actually being able to turn them off overnight.
You're giving Teams all the functions that is in Zoom.
Yes, yeah.
That's good.
Again, some other challenges that we know in the market, so things like call statistics. Currently the only way to get them is from the Azure portal. We are going to actually expose that on our platform and you can report on it. Again, it's just trying to elevate what we can currently do with an MTR.